So now we're gonna be talking about like manga and like the first manga everyone's read. Have you read a manga yet?
Apart from like One Piece, not really.
Okay. So,
I've not really read anything either, so I don't know how much of a addition I'm gonna be able to make to the conversation. But
what anime have you watched recently or watched before? Would you consider reading an anime for?
ooh, like Chainsaw Man for sure. Hell's Paradise as well. Like that one is just so intriguing. I just have to know more. Of course, we were just talking about Attack on Titan as well. Trying to think. There's a few because Hunter x Hunter being one of the main ones because
You have
of course,
time
it's
to
not-
watch that. You don't know when that's gonna drop again.
Yeah. Yeah, those are like the ones that come to mind for now.
What about you, Joe? Do you have any animes that you've watched that has like?
I would like to read the
Yeah.
manga for. I'll say Hunter x Hunter. I'd like to see. I feel like that'll be interesting. Yeah.
Alright, so what was the first manga?
manga?
Yeah.
Narrative. But I think I can't remember who gave me a copy and whether it was my cousins or I just bought it. But like that was my first manga that I got.
Do you remember the ones in school? The Naruto.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. That's probably one of the first mangas I read. It was Shaman King.
And
Okay.
the flip.
Yeah.
Do you know they're still in there?
They're still there.
They
The
literally
same
have
ones from
same
one
ones when we were in school. It's mad.
Matt.
Crazy.
They what else have they got? When we were at school, do you remember there being Fruit Basket there?
No.
I don't remember because I think that's new because when
It must be new.
they have Fruit Basket, they have Shaman King, Naruto,
They
Bleach.
have Bleach, yeah. They have Bleach.
They brought a Silent Voice. The last the librarian that left, she brought Silent Voice, so that Silent Voice is there now. Yeah. And then I got the first volume of One Piece from school, cause someone brought it in, and then it was with I can't say names. So basically, my boss, they came looking for me, and then they gave it to my boss, and then my boss was gonna keep it, and then basically the head TA was like, no, they asked for Darius, so they give it to Darius, and then she basically took it from him and gave it to me. So yeah, I got a free copy of One Piece, which was nice. Yeah, for me, I'll say I think Shaman King was the first manga I read. And it's weird. Did you have reading partners at school?
Sure, what? The library session?
Yeah, when
Yeah,
we were in year
I remember.
7. Sean's
Year
brother
7.
Sean's brother was man.
Sure.
Sean's Babily's
Is it?
older brother was man.
Is it what?
And then his brother goes to the school now.
Oh, is it?
His younger brother.
His
It's
younger
weird.
brother.
It's like a whole cycle. It's
Basically, yeah.
nuts. Yeah. So, okay, going on from that, what do you think was the first manga that had the biggest impact on you?
Oh, I'm trying to think because I'm trying to do something different than the animes. That's a good question. You know what? Let me check my app one sec because I have everything
For me,
on here.
Berserk, Vagabond, and Solonin. So yeah, Solonin is how do I explain it? It's basically people in their 20s going through like a quarter life crisis and trying to figure out what they want to do with their life. So it's like
Oh, bad.
so it's like they've just finished, they just graduated. It's from a girl's perspective, and then she's with her boyfriend, and then they're friends from uni. So I really like it because it's relatable. It's like the boyfriend's trying to figure out whether he wants to. What's he do? His job is like a free, he does part-time work as like a illustrator, but he goes and practice twice a week with his band. So he's tackling whether to go full-time with the band and try and pursue his dream of the band, or just have a normal life and do a 9 to 5. So it's relatable, and I like that. So it's one of my favorite mangas because of that. So yeah, I think Vagabond, Berserk, and that. That's all in there. Have you?
I'd definitely say after the first season aired, I binged Vinland Saga.
That's what I was gonna say. Right.
So,
Like the
it's-
manga better than anime?
no, it's the exact same.
Oh, I just started thinking I'm on episode 5. So I
Okay,
don't
no,
know.
it's the exact same.
This
What are you
is
gonna say?
And I was gonna say go off tangent, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna say have you watched Vinland Saga yet?
Nah,
Oh,
nah.
okay, you need to. I'm gonna say, how does everyone feel about second season of Vinland Saga?
I was telling him.
Episode season 1 of like.
No, second season. Have you watched second? Have you caught up in
no,
second season?
what's his name? Fourth film. When
Yeah.
he was growing up, I'm season.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say, oh, okay. It's no
Is
point.
that
Like,
madness?
no, it's just like everyone's not necessarily liking it because it's not him being an edgy teenager.
That's because they're not looking at it from the perspective of like the storyline. Like I feel like by the time you got to the end of Vinland Saga, if you hadn't like got to see the story of like Thorfinn and like how throughout his quest of revenge he didn't think about the aftermath, which is what Askeladd was telling him, and like
the whole time.
like and you see like
Is he still on that for his father?
You see, just what episode are you on?
Like episode 5, 6.
Oh, you're still relatively.
The guy that killed the dad.
Yeah,
he's traveling. Askeladd
Yeah.
traveling with him, so he
Yeah.
wants to revenge. He's
Yeah.
grown up now, so
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like now.
I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, like if you don't like get the whole message that the story is trying to tell you with like these quests for revenge,
Oh, okay,
which
I
is like
see.
it's a very typical story, but like if you don't get that message, like then it's kind of
it's
like
a
you
message
missed
to
the
it. Okay, I'm gonna
you
check.
kind of missed the whole point
Mm.
of like the show, which is why like season 2 is kind of like taking out people who don't want to watch it
Oh, okay.
because of that. There's no action and stuff like that, and like yeah, it's like season 2 is tricky because season 2 is kind of like a prequel to like the whole story. I feel like season 1 was just like kind of like
It should be its
introduced, like
own-
showing you the world and
yeah.
like different characters, and then
Yeah.
season 2 like it's more like showing you Thorfinn, beginning of Thorfinn's journey.
Oh, okay. I see.
So yeah, I feel like Vinland Saga definitely had a big impact on me for that reason, because this like the story as a whole is just pretty good, and seeing his growth as a character, yeah, and like seeing how everyone else in the world
Reacts.
it reacts to Thorfinn, and that's the thing, they still have like all those moments of action and stuff, just done it in a different it's done in a more tasteful way, I think.
It's not.
Yeah.
Also, it's not in a compact space of time.
Yeah.
It's not like every week there's something
Yeah, exactly.
craziness
Yeah.
happens. It's rather, that's why it's more tasteful and it's
Yeah.
more impactful when
Yeah.
the violence did happen. Because I can't spoil it. But there's a fight that happens in
Yeah.
season 2
Yeah.
when everything's been peaceful for time,
Yeah.
and then it just happens. You're like, yeah, we're back to the fighting and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this, and without bringing anything up that might spoil in it, do you remember the conversation you had with my friend Chirag about it, where what his
It's-
gripes were?
It's
with
exactly the same.
Right.
It's
Okay.
exact-
Yeah.
Dom
I
has
get
the
you.
same gripes.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. That's why, because I was watching a clip on Instagram. I think it was like it was a anime podcast as well, and they were saying it was funny. They were saying people who don't like season 2 of the Vinland Saga don't like growth. Like they literally don't like growth. When I saw it, I was like, I agree, it's funny,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Because Vinland Saga is not a shonen jump, is it?
No, it's
And
not.
that's the thing. I feel like people went into it thinking it was a shonen jump just because of like the standard. Like
That's a very dark
anime
shonen show.
and it's not a shonen jump. So like, it's like season 2 especially more like it plays more like a drama, like you know,
Slice of life.
yeah, slash of life. Yeah, it's just that there's a lot going on. Like there's a lot of character development and themes like throughout. So and seeing them play out in the mangas, pretty cool. I'd also say Tower of God, the manhwa, Korean manga, because I've obviously watched the anime adaptation and then read the manga, and it's kind of like One Piece in terms of this overarching journey, but there's just so much going on. But I really like the individual arcs that they go to. Like there's so many cool arcs, and like there's 2 time skips. And
There's 2 now.
Yeah, there's 2.
There's been another one.
So there's it's got.
I stopped reading it.
So like obviously you know the anime, that's like kind of like the prequel.
Mm,
then there's the first time skip,
yeah.
and the story just kind of continues on. And then there's a second time skip when Bang like goes under training for like a year, and he has like long hair and a ponytail.
Which bit am I? I think
You may or may not be on that.
no, I was on
After that bit.
I was on the bit where I think they killed his master, the one when he was training. Did they? Or they ever killed him or
They've captured him.
Yeah, they captured
Yeah.
him, and then they've gone and attacked like the big. I just remember what I can picture in my head is a big ship going to this big place. That's the last chapter I read, but I can't remember.
Okay, so yes, I think you're on the. Does
Like
he have long hair?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
war.
so you're close, like
Okay, I haven't-
because like where they are now is kind of start moving on from that.
Yeah,
But, like
I
it's
haven't-
still
I
the
haven't
same.
read it,
The same
so-
characters are still involved currently. So
Okay, I need to read.
yeah, and there's some new characters that have joined. Some new princesses of Zahad that have joined, and some old ones as well. So yeah.
So,
Yeah, just catch up, but yeah, it's still on the same lines. But yeah, just like the whole overarching theme of like, there's 10 families, and the main character was originally supposed to be one of the 10, but he's not, and like the whole like mystery behind his birth and like stuff being
He's not-
unraveled
yeah.
and why he's an irregular.
Is Rachel still there?
Yeah, she's still there.
Still a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, she's still a bitch. She's teamed up with one of the family heads from. You may have seen him. It's the guy with like short brown hair and glasses.
I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah, you probably won't remember. But yeah, she's still. They tried to set up
Bam
Coon
again.
again.
I knew what he's
Yeah.
saying him up.
It's so annoying. It's just jarring. Like,
bro.
yeah. So.
I might
But,
read
yeah,
it.
especially because Bam is so powerful now. He could just one shot these niggas. But no, like, yeah, it's just annoying. Yeah, the story is pretty cool. Like just like seeing the whole like fights between the different family heads, and seeing obviously Bam's character development as he gets older and learns more about the whole world. So yeah, Tower of God as well. Trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously Berserk, but we don't even need to say too much about Berserk. Berserk's just
Have you
Amazing
tapped into
story.
any of Berserk yet?
I'm familiar with some of what's going on when it comes to Berserk, but no, not like that. To answer your question,
That I swear that scarred. It scarred me.
yeah.
It scarred me. I think it will scar me for the rest of my life.
Do you know how I actually like started to find out about what was actually going on there? Is because this one SoundCloud rapper called Rob Banks.
I
made a
knew it had to
mixtape
be him. It had to be. It did what
called
you say.
Griffith Did Nothing Wrong. And so I was just like, who's that fella? Why has he not done anything wrong? All right. Well, I've only ever used this phrase, I've only ever heard it used once on like Reddit and 4chan by those type of degenerates. And it obviously wasn't Griffith. It was another name, which we won't delve into right now. But I thought it can't be good. But curiosity got the better of me. And
Is
yeah,
it gonna
did a
still?
good thing.
Is it gonna still be recording? Please say it's
Yeah,
still
it's still
recording.
recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think. Have you heard of Berserk before?
I've heard of it, but I've watched. Is it good?
I don't know whether you could read. I don't. No, because this is so mad. Do you know how religious, you have from a very religious background? So you reading it will just like
Oh, it's
flip.
like that.
It will flip.
Oh.
It will
It's like
flip.
that, yeah.
It will flip.
Dark.
So I don't know whether you
I
would.
might find that interesting.
But you could. It's
Is it
called.
like-
It's the most taptist thing I'll ever read in my life. It's like yeah.
I probably know about 5% of what's going on, and I can wholeheartely agree with that.
Like cause
But I've watched Tap Animes, like
have you watched Devilman?
prison school. That's Tap.
No, that's comedy
This is
tap.
comedy taps. This is like real life tap. Like,
Oh, okay, I see. There's different.
It's like there's demons.
Oh,
There's if your dad catches you watching that, it's game over.
All right.
Has Joel not
I
heard?
watched him. I feel like he has. Is it? How long is it?
It's like it's 300 and something
300
chapters,
Chapters. Okay.
but yeah, that's
Oh, actually.
one of the. I think that's. Would you recommend that for someone to read, like if they're getting into manga?
no, because I think it just depends on your
Taste again, yeah.
Because some people would either be immediately hooked, other people would be turned off by it and never watch anime ever again. So I think it depends. Like, and the thing is, it's made for like a particular audience. I think with like certain taste.
Are we good? Are we like okay to be like that? We find that interesting, like genuinely, like
I mean, some of the stuff we brought up, yeah, maybe we should probably like.
I mean, it's kind of like like Game of Thrones, like how people are into that. Like it's on the
Yeah, I
and
can have to go for it.
yeah.
no, but that's not. That's
like fantasy though. Like I don't know. I feel like
It's a
there's
slightly darker, like
Yeah.
yeah.
like because while it is dark, I think there's just an element of separation because it's live action, and you know that that's not actually going around outside or was going on historically. I feel like there's that disconnect of just like, oh, it's not real. Like I'm watching a fictional story, whereas with this, it's like
Someone's imagination.
yeah,
He's imagined this stuff.
yeah.
Like, but yeah, okay, yeah. Because the first, like, apart from Shaman King, the first one I actually read was not Demon Slayer, Seven Deadly Sins.
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
got like Seven Deadly Sins. First, I don't know how that got me. I was so hooked on Seven Deadly. I felt the first season of Seven Deadly Sins was really
Yeah.
good, so that hooked me, and I read like I loved
To be
reading.
fair, I think that just obviously anime aside, the manga was solid until like the very end. I think.
that was so stupid.
I say the same. That's the thing with anime, like with manga, like because the original source material, they kind of take their time to like craft the story. So like you read it as they release the chapters, and so I feel like you feel this natural story progression as opposed to the anime where okay they either do anime only scenes or they cut like certain stuff out from the manga, so the adaptation isn't like 100%. So I feel that with Seven Deadly Sins, I'm the same with like Promised Neverland in terms of like the storyline was very good until like the very end in the manga.
Would
Like,
you tell people to read to watch wow. Yeah, actually Seven Deadly Sins as one of the first anime and Promised Neverland as one of the first animes then.
Oh yeah, I'd recommend Promised Neverland and season 1 of Seven Deadly Sins
Yeah.
as the first first anime because those are very good, especially the first season of Promised Neverland. That's like
That was one of the best
Really good.
seasons of
Yeah,
anime.
I forgot about that when we were
Yeah.
talking about it earlier. That's
Yeah.
definitely a good shout.
because there's only 12 episodes.
Trying to think. What else would I recommend? No. I would actually recommend Samurai Champloo because if you like, especially if you like music, if you're music head,
Yeah,
I
the
think
hip hop.
yeah, you would love Cowboy Bebop and
Yeah.
you would love that if you like music. I think you would love watching that. Again, so do you think you have manga fatigue?
In terms of being too tired to read it.
No, or like, could you read manga? It's like the anime, Could you read?
Like, can you get burnt out on it?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a better way to say it. Thank you.
Yes and no. In terms of the stuff that comes out weekly, same with the anime, I read
Read
it
it on the one
weekly
day.
when it comes out. Stuff that I want to get into, yes, I kind of have to take my time. Like I can't just like do like 3 that I haven't never read before and read them all at once. Like, for example, I think Sakamoto Days came up on my
I need to read that.
For You page on TikTok. So now I've started like properly reading it like on the train.
Okay.
I just download the chapters on my app, so I just read them. But like I can't read anything else. Like it has to be that and the weekly stuff
Okay.
I'm reading until like I finish.
That one.
Yeah, and then I'll catch up and then I can go like start something else. Yeah.
See, I'm like on the border of that because like I still need to finish reading Dorohedoro because I was reading that and Monster at the same time. So I finished Monster and then like I got to play. I'm only like 40 chapters away from finishing Dorohedoro and I still haven't finished it. But like it depends. It depends how much time I have, whether I can watch all of the stuff I watch, read all the stuff I will read. So it's really just finding time again to read all of that, basically.